everybody. How we doing? Loading in here for February company promotion ceremony for the 3rd Infantry Division. So I'll be kicking it off here in 10-15 minutes. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Alright, perfect.
Fairly quiet in the back, Major.
Good. Yeah. How was the actual for the day? Spot on actual? No. Guess no.
Yeah, tell me about it, so. But I know with that announcement, I think May 5th is the final day official servers are online. So we'll have to definitely get a group of us old schoolers together that week or that day. I think that's a Thursday, and be able to, game on official servers one last time. Would be great. No, Memorial would be at the end of the month of May. This would be at the beginning, May 5th, first week of May. But I know I posted it on our Third ID Facebook page. Shared the news there, and then said, hey, who wants to get together? See what type of interest we get out of it. Hey, Samuels. Thanks, bud. Thanks for stopping in. Alright, 3 minutes, we'll get this kicked off. Yeah, the community will keep it together to an extent, just like, I mean, look at the Call of Duties or CSGO, things like that. I mean, the admin support will drop off and die, because obviously it's a job to them, they have to move on. But then the ability to have key people there. There's talk about like Army Ops or something like that as a new game. They said something about America's Army Striker Overwatch or something like that was a game in talks, but then it got canceled. So I don't know if the Army will put any more money into gaming, building games anytime soon. Definitely knowing all their budget cuts and stuff like that, but we'll definitely be able to keep it alive, play it here and there. We can have our own servers in the map still, or in the game still. So, pending how that all works out, maybe it'll draw some people's interest in there. I know with them saying that, you know, a lot of thoughts and feelings about them shutting it down completely might inspire some people to jump back in and play a little bit. So.
Major, Alpha Company, all present and accounted for.
All right. Oh, post. All right, War Eagles. How we doing? We already month 2 of 2022, so obviously shit, it's gonna go faster than I think we think. So some notes basically throughout how I always start off. We have some anniversaries. One anniversary for Specialist Pearson, hitting his 1 year time and grade here, February 10th. So if he's in formation, give him a hoo. If not, make sure you tell him awesome. To his 1 year, we'll be reaching out to him to get him his 1 year anniversary gift from the unit. Those that are new to the unit, we give out anniversary gifts at 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and then 5 every from there. Eventually, they'll equal up to 20 years, and you'll get a trip to Hawaii, like I'm betting on, but I'm being told no. So each one gets a little bit more. They're just small little trinkets, a little appreciation thing, saying thanks for your service with us. It's something unique and sets us apart from all the other realism units out there, as everybody's the same, right? Being able to celebrate a little bit, say our thanks, give them some third ID bling on in a letter mailed to them. Seems to be really the right thing, and a lot of people just like it, and it's nothing real big, and it's nothing like a whole gaming setup, but it's something that just shows appreciation is the whole line behind it. So a big thank you to Specialist Pearson for hitting his 1 year. Oh.
What?
Last month, we had some introductions into our unit, some new soldiers coming on board. So we have Hunter, not Garcia, but how do you say that? Garcia? um, Liwa came back, Kaya Orsini came back, Barnes, Sidursky, Belvins, Pearson, Gill, and then Garcia, the other one. So we have some new soldiers joining us from the month of January. Those that recall, December was a recruitment fiend, and we got in a position to where we had extremely overstretched some of our squads, and we had to kind of wait that out before the full growth. We've been always talking at that time we probably could have easily launched a second platoon, no problem, but obviously knowing the trends over the years of how that happens every holiday exodus and December, we held up a little bit, because then there is the backside of it, to where we see that drop off. Those that join us because they got the game for Christmas, or played it throughout New Year's, and then we never see them again. So now that we kind of filtered through the muck side of recruitment and retention, in January here, we're much more stable and liable as we kind of move forward from that point. Really, the next big recruitment push happens somewhere around that end of May, early June. Obviously, college and high school students getting done with schooling and are able to dedicate more time. But then in June, vacations, family vacations, and so forth pop up for LOAs. But a big thank you and welcome to those soldiers. One thing that is new for 2022 that I'm going to start back up, if you haven't noticed already. I sent a PM out to all our new soldiers in the month of January, welcoming them to what I call Brunch with Major. I used to do this back 5 years ago, and it's kind of just to get in a TeamSpeak channel, meet and greet with all our new enlistees from the month prior, and be able to kind of a sensing session, set the expectation of the commander's intent and vision, to really help all our leaders here understand it as well. And then as we keep doing this, those improvements of each a new soldier coming in, be able to take that and help guide them throughout their career in the unit, as they heard it right from the horse's mouth, as they say. But be able to ask or get answers and ask questions of me without any kind of chain of command present for the most part. They lock me in a room with a bunch of privates, and hopefully I come out, a sane man, but that's questionable at times. But I really always looked forward to these, getting to meet and greet with our brand new soldiers and show them the ways. I wish it's something that we would have done in 2021. And having a conversation with some soldiers, it popped in my brain that that's excellent time to start that back up, and really just strengthen our lower enlisted in terms of what actually kind of good looks like, what the expectation is from their role as them joining, because we have multiple backgrounds throughout the MilSim community. We have soldiers that join us with 4,000 hours in ARMA, but then they start here as a private trainee no matter what. We've had unit commanders join us from other groups and then start as a private trainee. It's a big flux for some, and then we have those that are on the other side of that spectrum of joining the unit fresh to the game. They just downloaded it, saw us recruiting, and joined us. There's a few of us, a few of those soldiers in our formation today that are just like that. So those that receive that invite, again, it's only for those that enlisted in the month of January. And we'll be able to sit down, have some chats February 12th. I think I listed it at 9:30 EST in the morning on the 12th for about an hour, be able to sit down and meet and greet, basically. With that, kind of in the lines of the sensing sessions, that's something that I'm in the works of doing, having some sit downs just with whether that's a sensing session for all fire team leaders, pull all fire team leaders and you and I chat, pull maybe all PFCs and chat, so it can go by position or certain rank or billet, but being able to just get more insight from what you're seeing to what I'm seeing. Be able to work through the middle, work with command staff, and see how we can continue to improve, as we do have our own areas at every level. My levels down through Private Snuffy that just enlisted, and be able to get those out and be able to address those head on as a team versus just one person trying to do it. So look forward to those, and those I'll be in contact again with those. I just ask that you show up and attend and voice. Other notes I have from FIG, we do have a combat lifesaver course starting February 11th. Signups should be posted. We have a land knife course on February 18th, and then combat medic on February 19th. So we are working through some FIG changes as well in terms of qualifications and going, what's required of what. I know if one thing that C staff just released yesterday, and it should be posted already, correct, Drake, the doc?
Yes.
I was muted. Hey, firm. The document is updated.
Beautiful. So those that in December-ish timeframe, when a lot of talk about opening second platoon and figuring out where what our roadmap looks like. We had a lot of talk about, let's get this DMOS, let's get this DMOS, let's get 19 deltas, let's get XYZ, and at our size, I'd love to be able to fulfill it all, but honestly, we have to stay in our lane of what we are. We're light infantry with an aviation detachment. Light infantry is limited to certain things that we should use. So with that, we kind of went through and combed through with the work of Lieutenant Drake and the rest of the command staff on a roadmap, really, of what it's going to take for us to be able to open that coveted 19 Delta Scouts detachment, what it takes to open more flight personnel slots, and be able to grow that way. Open a our Mortarman 11 Charlie actual dedicated slot, not a weapons squad slot. So we had a lot of those. A lot of military veterans come in and say, why can't we have this? And this is kind of our answer, our roadmap. This is what we get when we achieve this number of people or this result, along with kind of what the qualifying terms are to say go be a Cav Scout when we get there, and what courses are required to qualify for that. So those that are looking for that path, it's all right there in our unit protocols tab, part of our website. Go check that out under the About Us, and then it should be under unit. What's the word? Unit organization. I think we got it under, if I'm correct. But it's in that area. Check it out. Look forward to seeing how we can continue to see those as our goals as a whole group and push forward. Much like just the having that consistent message, kind of the purpose behind our unit is really where I want to get to, and kind of the severity of how we present ourselves, what we as the unit is or are, and what we want to do. And I think through sensing sessions, through brunch with major, starting with the lower enlisted and continuing to move up, see staff kind of pushing down and seeing what we can engage and do, I think we'll be able to hit all cylinders and all people as needed. And then the final note I have here is that we do have an S2 slot opening up. Staff Sergeant Grigg would be stepping out of the Platoon Readiness NCO, and there is a post out there via Sergeant Pendergast for soldiers that are interested in seeing if they qualify, and then being able to apply for the S2 dedicated Zeus role for the platoon level. That'll be working closely with Pendergast as NCOIC of S2, Master Sergeant Brock as the company senior analyst, and then Warrant Officer Ilio as our 3 cab Zeus slot and S2 analyst. So being able to create missions, our and really just throughout the whole how Sergeant Pendergast plans to run future FTXs and missions and operations. So it's a very kind of coveted slot and a very critical slot to get the right person in there that's going to make it about the unit and make it the fun part of understanding how the big picture is, I guess I'm trying to say, and how it's all about us as the infantry and the aviation side of things, us as the players, wanting that enjoyment with a little bit of getting our asses kicked, but then a lot more ass kicking, I guess you can say, and be able to have some fun in that role as well. So that's really the notes that I kind of had set aside. We do have a good chunk of promotions and awards today. First off, I'd like to start off with having Brooks and Bill's post. All right, about face. I have Corporal Bills here in front of me. Here I'd like to award both Brooks and Bills the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal for donating in the calendar month of January. Bills actually tried to trick me. He just got one in this morning, probably like half hour before the ceremony here, but I caught it, so it still counts for this month. And then I reset the next month's goals. But Corporate Bills here donated $100 just today to our unit fund, and then earlier in January, Brooks donated $200 in the month of January. So both are being awarded the MOS or MOVS or SM with Valor. So the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal with Valor for achieving over $100 donation in one calendar month. So big thank you to these two. I mean, having a unit fund like we do is honestly unheard of in a lot of places when it's a grouped fund and not just one person's wallet like it was for many years earlier. But to be able to have the consistent donations, it allows us to go and do things like our unit anniversary gifts, be able to have raffles and events, be able to afford some whether that's tech or things like our servers. But it's a big thank you to these two and many others. So, hooah.
Well,
Ooh.
All right, about face. Thanks again, Corporal.
Back of the mind.
All right, fall back in. All right. Next up, if I can get Cunningham, Brooks, Frost, Bills, Paz, Wenzel, Crawford, T. Simmons, El Delgado, Bobble, and Lewis post. All right, about face. All right, line it up a little bit. We're supposed to look like something here. There you go. All right, so these soldiers, I like to pass some credit on to. These soldiers were the graduates of our Class 22-01 of Warrior Leadership course. They attended a 2-day course in January here for Warrior Leadership. Here they get really taught the basics of, what it means to be a leader, how to handle situations, whether that's through negotiating, arbitrating, and being able to really know that this is that step, to go through WLC, to go through a leadership course. Things are now expected of us as leaders, regardless if we have those, 2 little mosquito wings, or just the sham shield, right? We want to make sure that our leaders are internal and grown. That's one thing that really sets us apart as well from other groups, is that we don't just bring somebody in, into the unit off the street and give them an E5 rank, just because there may be an E5 in the real army, or they had some military experience, or they have 4,000 hours on ARMA. We grow our leaders within, and it's a challenge. I'm not going to lie. Growing leaders within, there's so many different types of personnel, different backgrounds. We have anywhere in front of me, military veterans to potentially 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are just now getting into, what it means to lead. I'm a firm believer that leaders are made, not born. And you can do a lot with leadership and inspiration through an individual person. So growing those leaders that you see in front of us today into that next step of leadership. But ultimately, it comes down to each and every single one of you to do what is right. Follow that NCO core, follow that soldier's creed, follow those Army values, so that you can build that relationship on every level with every person that you talk with, because it's a two-way street. So big hood to these soldiers. They're being awarded the NCO development ribbon for completion of WLC. Those that are already E4 corporals and higher are authorized to wear it on their uniform right now. Current specialists, it's awarded to you, but you have to hit that NCO core to actually hold it on your uniform. So that's your next step to get to that point. So a big hua, and I love having our new leaders come through. So congratulations. Hua.
What?
All right, about face. Congrats, Wenzel. All right, fall back in. Oh. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right, next up, if I can get Cooper, Vandal, Ivanov, Defrost, Reisler, Bigsby, V. Garcia, Flanagan, Fives, Pearson, D. Harris, and El Delgado post. Thanks for the follow. And son of a gun, I just said all those names without pressing my push to talk. All right. So again, have the following post. Myself, Cooper, Vandal, Ivanov, Defrost, Reisler, Bigsby, V. Garcia, Flanagan, Fives, Pearson, D. Harris, and Delgado post. Everybody on my stream heard the names twice now. Alright, Bellface. Alright, so these fine group are hereby being awarded the Good Conduct Medal. Those that have never been awarded the Good Conduct Medal, which we have a couple specialists in here, so it might be in there. But ideally, it's awarded every 3 months for good service. So 4 times a year, we can receive the Good Conduct Medal. Ideally, it's just as it says, good conduct. Your TPR when you're supposed to, when you can't make it. You don't have any lapse and AWOLs. You report in when you're supposed to report in. You have good presence on our forums and website and Discord. And you're here to do what you signed up to do without having to be your arm twisted, I guess you can say. Again, this is a multi awardee type medal. So congratulations, and hope to see you here in the next 3 months. And now that I'm being awarded it with you, these ideally would be able to be awarded every 3 months together. So I plan to see you all in 3 months, huh?
Cool.
All right,
Cool.
Bellface. All right, fall back in. Alright, next up, I will take Brock, V. Garcia, and Ivanov post. Beautifully done on the post, Garcia. Alright, Buffus. Alright, so these 3 soldiers, once again, I think all of them have been up here multiple times, but are hereby being awarded the Humanitarian Service Medal for clans list votes for achieving 60 in the calendar month. They have, the ability to vote up to 2 times a day on 2 different devices, so PC, laptop, phone, whatever. And I've learned it has to be over 2 different networks too, so like one's on a data or say your cell phone, and one's on your home Wi-Fi, whatever it is. That held me up quite a few times because it says you've already voted in 24 hours. I'm like, but it's a different device, but it's not same network. So keep that in mind. I know in late January here, Clans List had an issue with their security on their website. That's been fixed since, and those that had to click a couple additional clicks to say, yeah, let me go to the website, kept that. So hopefully that didn't knock too many people off track. I know I made the extra click, so hopefully someday I'll actually get this medal. But big congratulations. Clans List is a big recruitment tool for us. It gets our name out there. It gets us on the top. Just being on Clans List, we're on the first page. And then it's up to us as individual teams to get out and vote, which is why we put such a important emphasis on it, including having our ranks be required. To achieve a certain rank, you have to have so many Clans List votes a month in that calendar month. So as it does add great value to us, as some of you in this formation found us via Clans List, so you can kind of see how important that is to us. It's something that our unit fund pays for. I think it's about $70 every 6 months, so $140 a year just to be there. So that's an entire month's goal almost of ours, just to have that ability and be present to many to click on our website and see the traffic. So big thank you to these 3 for achieving 60 votes in just 1 month again. Hooah.
Cool.
All right, Bellface. Fall back in. All right, next up, go ahead and get me. We have Staff Sergeant Grigg, Kahiri, Bills, Snyder, and Kidden post. Alright, Corporal Reels in front of me, so about face. Alright, so these soldiers are hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Service Medal for achieving 6 months in a current DMOS. So in this case, we have Bills being awarded for FIG instructor, as well as combat journalist for being an FIG and PAO for 6 months each. Then we have Grig for FIG, Kahiri for FIG. Crap, I missed one. Sergeant Winters, you here? Oh, not. Oh yeah, he is here. Sergeant Winters, post. Sorry, your name was there. I missed it. Run, 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 run. There you go, about face. Sorry about that. Sergeant Winters is on my list. Got mixed in between all the drill sergeants for FIG for 6 months in FIG. And to round it out, we have Snyder for combat journalism in PAO, and Kidden for 6 months as a senior roster maintenance specialist in BMO. I mean, so there is a ton of DMOS medals that we give out. In fact, if you look at it, there's more DMOS medals than actual like combat related medals. And it's all about recognition of those. I mean, the DMOS side of our group is not really the hobby we all signed on to do. If you think of it, we all signed on to be gaming, have some fun in game, blow stuff up, fly helicopters, crash things, blow up strikers, whatever. And the DMOS side is not really, part of that ticket. However, it is extremely vital to our success as a unit. Is spreading that administrative side of things around, definitely at any size element, whether we're only a squad or we have 3 companies. Having personnel to handle things like train new personnel in FIG, be our face of our group in public affairs. BMO handle all our roster stuff. We have PersComs, which is a beast to handle at times. Definitely after a ceremony day like this, to where you have BMO going nuts and you have CID going nuts from all the overload each month that has to happen. So showing recognition that not only they have served longevity in there for 6 months like this medal, but then, as we call others up for other DMOS medals, just note how much dedication it takes and why it's so important that these awards have such large merit for what they do. So a big thank you to these two for 6 months in their DMOSs. Cool. Fall back in. I don't know about that, Samuel, so. Alright, fall, thank you. With that, if I can get Tham, Vicus, Moody, Richardson's, Dolly, O'Connor, McKinsey, and Mosvik post. Alright, about face. Where you running to?
Sorry, my game is lagging. What the fuck?
Do the hokey pokey. Turn ourselves around.
There you go.
We're almost there. Almost. Well, as Tham shows us his dance skills, I'd like to take a moment to recognize these soldiers. All these soldiers are fairly new to our unit, enlisted within probably that Exodus time frame into January. So they're hereby promoted to Private First Class, PFC, E3. So this is really their first promotion within our group and within our unit, being able to get up here. Do the boogie woogie like Tham did, but also be able to be present in formation. PFC opens up other DMOSs available to them Officially, they could be selected as a fire team leader at the level of PFC, as well as the other DMOSs that it opens up a little bit more entry level, but those that we require a little bit longevity in the unit, in this case, a month, 2 months, to be a part of our group, to show their commitment and stability. So big congratulations to our new PFCs. Huh.
What?
Oh,
Ooh,
All right, about face. Please don't punch me in the face, Sam, when you go. There you go, perfect. Congratulations, PFCs. All right, fall back in. All right. Next up, if I can get Vandal, Shade, and Grig post. Loving the authorized stash, Sergeant. About face. All right. So these 3 soldiers were up here last month, or talked about last month, for hitting their 1 year and 2 year anniversaries in our unit. Sergeant Vandal hit his 1 year last month, as well as 2 year for Shade and Grig in the calendar month, and are hereby being awarded the Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal for having 12 months time in service with a deployment. So we deployed in our last operation, Silver Guardian, wrapped up right before Exodus last year, and since we've been in FTX phase, doesn't count as operations, but we deployed into Africa for those 12 months, or within those 12 months. So these 3 soldiers qualify. Big congratulations. Huh.
What?
what?
ooh.
All right, Buffets. All right, follow back in. All right, if I can get Bitar, Escabella, and Flanagan post. All right, Buffets. In sync. These 2 soldiers, 3 in total, are hereby entering what we call the coveted E4 Mafia as a specialist, being promoted to specialist today. Entering the specialist corps, obviously they showed certain longevity in their roles as PFCs. Currently serve as members in their fire team. I know some of the requirements. They have to be in a DMOS to even qualify for specialist. They have to clans list vote to qualify for the rank of specialist. And being able to have soldiers like these coming up, being our next force of leaders. When I called up our NCO development ribbon group, a lot of specialists in there. So this is that step to where they take to, find out what their next goal is. As a specialist, it's really that hang-up rank. If they want to get in and be a fire team leader, well, that's their goal, right? So they push towards that, get into being a fire team leader, and you're promotable at that slot to corporal, get into the NCO corps. But it's also a rank that you can stay at for X amount of time, as long as you want. We had a specialist back in the day, Otario, that was a specialist, I think, for like 4 years. And that was just his niche. He loved it. Got to show up, do his thing, participated in DMOSs, active, loved it. So, I mean, we have soldiers that really, this is your bread and butter, where you want to be or you want to keep progressing, moving forward. So, a big congratulations to these 3 entering the Mafia. Cool.
What?
Ooh.
Buffets.
Oh.
Congrats, specialists. Fall back in.
Thank you, Major.
Take your PFC rank, turn it upside down, and grab a Sharpie. Save yourself the money. Military people would understand. Next up,
Cool, sir.
if I can get Wenzel, Donnelly, T. Simmons, and Franklin post. Any of those present? Wenzel, Donnelly, Simmons. Nope. Okay. So these soldiers are hereby being awarded the Army Achievement Medal, and they each have a citation recommended by their leadership. So we have Wenzel has shown himself to be a very promising soldier since his enlistment. During his time here, he has filled in other roles outside of his billet when needed. He never complained about having to do these things and showed extreme levels of professionalism while doing so. Now that he is in a leadership position, he continues to show the same level of professionalism and dedication, always keeping in touch with his soldiers, writing reports quicker than most other leaders I have worked with. For his overall exemplary performance thus far, I, his squad leader, Sergeant Poltrak, would like to award him the Army Achievement Medal. We have Donnelly for his role in assisting and supporting the entire squad through a mass situation during FTX 6 with a striker and medical care. Without his care and attention in the field of battle, the squad would have been wiped on multiple occasions from the large number of enemy attack helicopters. T. Simmons for continuous support and medical expertise that saved the unit throughout multiple situations during FTX 5 when our squad was faced with overwhelming odds and multiple mass cases. Without his focus and expertise, there would have been multiple experiences that not only our squad, Scorpions, not only with our squad, Scorpions, but also with other squads in the platoon, would have been overwhelmed and eliminated during the operation. Then we have Franklin. After a heavy hit by the enemy during FTX 6, Specialist Franklin was one of the 2 members still conscious. Despite this, he kept his cool head and started gathering the casualties at a single point, dealing with their wounds at the same time coordinating with fellow soldiers to save the lives of the squad. So you can kind of see Army Achievement Medal is awarded for lots of different various things. You know, you got achievement in there, achievement through leadership, achievement through a task or a skill. In this case, with like Specialist Wenzel, just that leadership alone. The other 3 are more or less technical type achievements. You know, going above and beyond, keeping cool. But at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of your soldiers with you, and you know, achieving that high level of professionalism, realism, and being able to, you know, keep yourself on the straight and narrow, I guess, and do what you're going to do. Soldiers like this is what is the backbone of our unit, and being able to read through these citations. Some things might be, you know, well, they did this. In this case, you know, 3 of them were for medical side of things, but it's not all just based about medical. It could be the, you know, running through fire to save a downed soldier and pull them back to safety. Things like that we've awarded it for. So a big hood to these 4 soldiers if you see them. Cool.
What?
Hooah.
Cool.
Well,
Okay, next up, if I can get, let's see, Muwali, Garcia, and Delgado post. V. Garcia, sorry. V. Garcia. Alright, Bellface. Alright, these soldiers are hereby leaders in their elements. Not sure if you heard that part. These soldiers are hereby leaders in their elements. You know, we have fire team leaders. I know one of these soldiers has led, you know, was a squad leader, interim for a while. I mean, they are the epitome of what an NCO is. NCOs take care of their troops. NCOs are the backbone of our group. If we want anything done correctly, we do it through the NCO Corps, right? It's because us officers, you know, us So me, Lambert, Drake, we don't do shit. It's our NCO Corps that gets the stuff done and takes care of our troops. We just make sure that we keep the matches out of the hands of the specialists. That's all we need to do, okay? So it's these NCOs that make this stuff happen for us. And with that, I'd like to promote all 3 of these to E5 Sergeant. You know, they hold current leadership roles that they have strived in and have extremely pushed for. In this case, we have one soldier with a waiver going up to E5, and Specialist Delgado. If you read it, it's a 2 months time and grade as a corporal, 3 as a specialist, and the amount of work that Delgado works along with Lieutenant Lambert and Warrant Officer Elio with our new kind of process we're working on through the 3 cab with Warrant Officer School. You know, it really showed this morning and throughout his time here thus far what he does. Muwali, you were the soldier that I mentioned earlier with leading your squad in the absence of your squad leader, Sergeant Lang, who just returned, and you did phenomenal throughout your time. Any questions that I had, or First Sergeant, or your platoon sergeant, or platoon staff had of you, you had the answer. And you really showed what it's about to lead from the front and take care of your troops outside of your own billet. So that really goes. And now Sergeant Garcia, we have somebody that's top of the line in our unit, somebody that has been up here. If you look through our promotion notes for prior months, I would bet, Garcia, you've been up here probably on the top echelon of anybody else, the amount of times, whether that is a couple of promotions here or there, of course, to get to corporal, but then all the awards on the DMOS side and combat side that you provide to our unit has been outstanding. So really well earned, very well coveted, and congratulations, Sergeants. Hua.
Cool.
Oh,
All right, Balface. Congratulations, Hua. Fall back in. All right. With that, I think I have T. Simmons. I don't think he was present. I called him name before. He's hereby being promoted to E4 Corporal. Again, a soldier that was in our WLC course that graduated this last month, and really showed that he has what it takes. Past that WLC, or past WLC, past our promotion board, is a really good young leader coming up, and that's one of my favorite things about this group, is that we grow our people, we grow our leaders, and you know, we do a satisfactory job. I feel we can do better on continuing to develop and hold that professional line as an NCO Corps, but overall I'm just so proud of our NCO Corps and where we've done thus far. So congratulations to now Corporal T. Simmons.
What?
Cool.
Next up, if I can get Vandal, Muwali, and H. McMahon post. Thanks for the follow, Sergeant Danny, I think it said. Alright, follow back. Or, sorry, about face. Alright, so these 3 soldiers are hereby being awarded the Joint Service Achievement Medal, the JSAM, and each one comes with a citation to read. So this is one of those awards that are awarded for DMOS duties only, for excellence and achievement. So we have Sergeant Vandal, currently a 46 Romeo broadcast journalist. Sergeant Vandal has showed great excellence in his role as a broadcast journalist. Sergeant Vandal is always there when he's needed, even stepping up when others shouldn't. Sergeant Vandal's knowledge and decisiveness in terms of streaming has allowed a grow and development of the DMOS, even now becoming the team leader of our broadcast journalists. So Sergeant Vandal handles all our uploading, well, not uploading, but coordinating of the upload of our FTX videos, training videos, and he really puts together the schedule, holds the line, holds the accountability piece, and has done outstanding since. We then have Corporal Muwali for being awarded for 68, or sorry, not 68, 46 as a journalist. Muwali has shown great excellence in his role as a journalist. He exceeds the job, always delivering and showing what he's capable of. Every article he writes with a great passion, and it shows. He never disappoints and is always on target, even looking for new challenges when he's already achieved his goals. So I've said it before, and let me read this next one because it falls just in line. McMahon, she's shown great excellence in her role as a journalist, excels at her job, delivering new and captivating articles and course summaries. She's always on time with writing and never disappoints. So, I mean, all these right now are through our public affairs. So recently we have Sergeant Cooper take over as NCOIC of our public affairs, and really didn't go in just guns blazing and changing everything. Really sat back, and that I commend him for sitting back and assessing for the first month or two on how PAO can just get better. We're doing nothing wrong in PAO. Staff Sergeant Skitz ran a very good public affairs office before he retired, and being able to come in and replace those shoes is no small feat, but then being able to really set up the areas that really makes these three successful and to be up here today is really just setting that professionalism. This is our image of our unit, is what public affairs offers. They're our face, right? When people come to our website, they see public affairs posts. When people go to our YouTube, they see public affairs. When they go to even some recruitment stuff is through public affairs. So, I mean, it's a very important role to have, and to have these three professionals up here shows to the magnitude of how professional and how outstanding our public affairs is. So, congratulations to these three. Cool.
What?
Ooh-ah.
All right, fall back in. Oh, sorry, about face. Getting ahead of myself. Tap my mouse. All right, fall back in. Cool. Alright, next up, if I can get Cunningham, Ivanov, D. Frost, T. Simmons, Babel, Snyder, Franklin, and Slager post. Belface. Alright, so these soldiers, how many is there? 6, 7, 8 of them are hereby being awarded the basic parachute badge. So these soldiers participated in our airborne school, hey Blackbeard, airborne school in the month of January, and qualified to jump out of perfectly good airplanes. A little crazy if you ask me, but those that don't know, oh, my dogs are fighting, hold on. Hey. Sorry. To get into airborne, obviously there's some prerequisites on land nav, how to do it. We have actually a really unique airborne school with actually a ground portion, a classroom portion, live jump portion, which I would put up against any of our, like our sister unit, the 173rd. We used to always farm all our airborne schools through them. Now we've taken more of it in-house because I just feel we have a good standard and an expectation of what we want, and we invite always them come over here, and we still go over there and do some of our their courses. You can still qualify through them as well, but we don't do airborne jumps much in our group, in our unit. Those that attended all of last year, we had one combat jump in the entire 12 months. That's about average for us, is about one a year. So it's not like it's something that we overutilize. We use our air assault skills more than we use our airborne school skills. So, but it's a course that gets you that badge. The more courses you take, you can start ranking up those badges between master and senior parachutist, jump master school, and etc. So, there's a reason for it, as it does add some accolade to your uniform, to your profile, on what you do. So, congratulations on jumping out of that perfectly good airplane, and glad you all survived. Huh.
Hooah.
All right, how about face? Cunningham. All right, I guess fall back in. See if Cunningham's lagging out. Oh, there he is. There you go. Fall back in. Next up, if I can get Cooper, V. Garcia, and Kid on post. How you doing, Blackbeard? Play Arma, or what's your game of choice? All right, Buffets. All right. So I have Sergeant Cooper. I'll read the citation for Electronic Maintenance Chief. You're being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal. In 2 months, Sergeant Cooper has done more than an electronic maintenance chief usually does in a year. He has helped update countless squad drills, templates, and construction of FOBs throughout FTX. So those that don't know, BMO was tasked with a ginormous task throughout. Well, I guess I'll read this next one because Garcia, you're involved in that too. Garcia being awarded the Joint Service Commendation Medal is one of the few members of BMO who goes above and beyond. Garcia never misses a request, never makes a mistake. And then you have Kidon, joined BMO 6 months ago, has rise quickly through the ranks and is already a senior RMS. We mentioned that earlier in the 6-month Armed Forces. He's hardworking, dedicated, and one of the few members who does everything correct as well. So those that don't know, BMO got dumped on with the decision to kind of scale back our mod pack a little bit. We took that in December. We took the voting, filling out the survey to anybody that wanted, and we kind of ranked what mods we really didn't need. We were trying to limit our mod pack a little bit, and well, I guess not unknown, but knowing what was coming, we then had to go through and very quickly update our templates because some of the mods we were using in the mods that we got rid of affected the gameplay. And obviously we go with verified signatures to prevent some server down or bad server stuff, as COE tells me. And the work that BMO had to do in a short amount of time, and Sergeant Cooper really helping lead that way with Staff Sergeant Tucci, was phenomenal. So a big congratulations and thanks to our BMO team. Again, a DMOS that is very needed in our group. Having to take care of everything that they do is insane. So congratulations. Oh.
Hooah.
Oh. About face? Alright, fall back in. Nice. What groups were you with? I mean, we're recruiting. Websites, hold on. There you go. Websites over there. So, we're just wrapping up our promotion and award ceremony. So, just checking my notes, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Alright. Last but not least, Elio and Strickland post. Strickland's not here. Center. There you go. Alright. About face. Alright. So I have Warrant Officer Elio here, who's currently the 3 Cabs XO, serves under Lieutenant Lambert, who just recently got placed last month, mid-month. So there's a lot of change happening in 3 Cab in terms of how they operate, in terms of how they train, how they teach, how they coach. And a lot of that has to come down to Warrant Officer Elio here. I had the pleasure of sitting down with him and another soldier in 3 Cab and be able to really talk about kind of what that growth plan looks like, what what a warrant officer now enlisting into 3 cab is going to be, the requirements to A, qualify, and then B, stay there, is something that we're definitely moving towards having a little higher standard. And, so having the right person at the helm, the XO, as I said before, you think of us officers, we really don't do anything but keep the matches away from the specialists. Elio stands in there with really what a senior NCO. He handles the day-to-day, along with now Sergeant Delgado as the readiness NCO, and then they have flight leads as well. But they're the ones that are in the trenches, in the dirt, making things happen and progressing that element forward on all fronts, the good and the bad. And being able to have him up here, promoting him into Chief Warrant Officer 2 of his billet, as the XO, along with Warrant Officer Strickland, who is a flight leader, and has been in our unit several times before, for amount of years as well, for Warrant Officer Strickland. But be able to join into being a Chief Warrant Officer, holding that standard as that senior personnel within that group, and do what they do. I look forward to the upcoming months on seeing that transition within 3 cab alone, but then seeing where it goes from there is really what kind of rings that joy bell for me, and seeing where we're gonna get to, and that's a lot of what these 2 soldiers do, more specifically Elio with his XO slot. So congratulations on Chief Warrant Officer. Oh.
What?
Hooah.
All right, foul face.
Well,
Fall back in. All right. So one more pass through just to make sure. I now number my pages so I don't get them out of order, which is the smartest thing I've done since slicing bread. All right. I think that pretty well wraps up. Again, in closing, we have a couple other, things coming out last night, or we'll be seeing, I should say. Our 4th quarter podcast come out hopefully earlier this week. We were able to get that recorded with our public affairs. You'll see guest speakers of Lieutenant Lambert and Sergeant Winters as the Soldier of the Quarter for 4th quarter. And then obviously hosts are Sergeant Cooper and Master Sergeant Brock are the hosts of our podcast. So look forward to that coming out. We'll get a post out there once everything's uploaded. Right now I'm putting the video together behind or in front of or behind, whatever it is, the actual audio file, because it's just an audio file, and TeamSpeak here. So a big congrats to that when that happens and gets out. Believe it or not, we're already 1 month into our 3 months of the 1st quarter of 2022. So, I mean, those that are looking for, looking for that Soldier of the Quarter potential, well, you're a month late. You're a month behind already. So hopefully you really impress the next 2 months and your first line leader takes notes and, gets that up to recommending into the platoon staff and 3 cab staff. So really like to end with, keep doing what we're doing in terms of recruitment. We have soldiers come in, we have soldiers leave. It's inevitable. I know I had a couple soldiers contact me about recent discharges, definitely coming out of that December, how January it felt like we were discharging 5 at a time. That's not unheard of. That's nothing to fret about or worry about. As long as, I can tell you this, as long as our leaders are still here, we're always going to be here, plain and simple. And that's why we put so much time and effort into training leaders. So that A, we're here, and then B, we're 18 years old. So we're our unit's older than some of you in formation. So we're not going anywhere. And the last coming up on 11 years of it has been ARMA. So that's pretty amazing. I did hear some sad news. Those that played America's Army back in the day with us, they officially pulled support, admin support and beta and dev support for America's Army Proving Grounds. They announced that. I posted that on our Facebook page yesterday or the day before. So that's some sad news, that they gave a date of May 5th as the last day, I think, that there's going to be official servers on America's Army Proving Grounds. You could still have private servers that people can pay for. We don't have one. When we got together and just played for old time's sake, we just went on a public server. But that's something I'll be looking forward to probably having a fun event, a fun day with on the 5th of May. Is just get out there, invite some of our retired soldiers that played America's Army with us. It's a free game on Steam, but it's something that we held from 2003 when we enlisted, or when we founded our unit, up to 2014, 15, I think. I had to look at the time frame when we actually shut America's Army down as a group, and then just solely focused on ARMA. But so that's to come. But that's all I really have for this ceremony. We'll head off into FTX here in about an hour, and I'll turn you over to Lieutenant Drake. Post. All right, take charge. Dismiss your troops.
Thank you, Major. All right, gentlemen. So, as Major said, going into February, got a lot of exciting stuff planned for the FTX, a lot of changes. We are trying to work off of your feedback. So if you do have any feedback, please make sure you submit that through the proper channels, team leaders, squad leaders, and then it will reach us eventually. Thank you all for being here. Remember to put in your CID requests to get your uniform updated. And I will see our leaders in about 15 minutes and the rest in about half an hour. Sound good, soldiers?
Cool.
Well,
Okay, you are dismissed, gentlemen.
All right. Well, first, I'd like to say thanks for everybody that stopped in and said hi. Thanks for the follows for the couple. I'm going to drop stream here. I think today for public affairs, I'd have to look. But if you haven't already, on our website, I won't be streaming today's FTX. That's delegated to Podcast Journalist Lounge. Oops, no, that's under announcements. Today is the 6th, so we have Private PFC Tham going to be the primary for today's stream for today's FTX. So if you haven't already, you can hit up our website, which is right there, and we have a Twitch area to where you can see Tham, and several others are streamed too, but Tham will be the one that we upload to YouTube tomorrow, and be able to see how he does from there. But other than that, that's really all I have for you. Please stop by if you haven't seen. I know Blackbeard, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the follow for everybody else. If you have any questions, Blackbeard, we do have a Discord. I can hit you up the link with if that's something that you're interested in. And other than that, I will bid you adieu. Thank you.